Hey, welcome back. In this video, we're going to do some fixes to the previous video, video number 3 and video number 4, but you probably didn't see any of the problems until you got to the end of video number 4. You hit play, and maybe your camera is down inside the ground. And I didn't really realize that was going to be an issue until some of my students started doing this video in their class, and we started seeing this problem show up. And that has to do with the asset that I used inside of my Unreal Engine, which was the sphere. And apparently that is not a model that or a shape that is available inside of every Unreal Engine. Not sure if it's because I have this version that I built on over the last couple iterations of Unreal Engine 5, or if it's just something else I pulled in over the years. But anyway, so you probably struggled with trying to find that sphere in the first place, and then you did find something. Maybe it was called the shape sphere, which is what I told my students to use. And I'm going to go ahead and go through all of that and show you how to fix the camera. And also there was that error that I caught during editing where I forgot to hook up the dampening variable, and I'll show you where to do that as well. So this should be a pretty short video. Again, if you're just popping in, you don't know what's going on, you can go ahead and check out my YouTube channel right here, putting on the Fritz 3D visualization, and take a look at some of these previous videos for Rollerball. There's also some other videos in there as well for making other games, things in Maya, things like that. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump on into the game, and there it is. There we go. Okay. All right, so again, your camera, when you hit play, if your camera is down inside the ground or under the ground, and I'll demonstrate that here in a second after I show you where the problem is and why it is, and then I'll demonstrate the problem, and then I'll demonstrate the fix, okay? So I'm going to go to my BP My Player, so the one where we made the blueprints for our player ball, and it has to do with this sphere right here. You can see over here on this side I have this sphere, and you may not actually have that same one. So if I hit the down arrow and I type in, and before I do that actually, let me go ahead and I'm going to change my viewport here so you can kind of see why this error is happening and what's going on, okay? So right now we're in what's called perspective right up here in the viewport. If I hit that little button, I can go down and I can pick a different camera view, and this is going to give us a direct on side view, front view, or whatever, which is a better view than what the actual perspective view is going to give us, because perspective has to do with the angle that you're looking at it, and everything kind of changes and kind of plays some tricks on your eyes. So we're going to go to orthographic view. I'm going to click the right side, and you can see that here's my sphere, right? And there's this red line. This red line is the grid, so the 0, 0 point is actually in the dead center of my sphere right there. And if I click the spring arm, you'll see that my spring arm is in the dead center right there at 0, 0, okay? And that's automatic, it just did it, okay? So that's why mine worked right off the bat. But if you didn't have that same sphere and you went with the let's see here, where'd it go? Oh, I minimized it. So right here, static mesh, right here where it says sphere, if I type in shape sphere, which was probably one if not only choice you had, you'll see that when I click on it, it's going to change the position of this sphere so that the bottom is right here at 0, 0. And now if I click the spring arm, you'll see that the spring arm is located down at the bottom. So now when you hit the play button and your player instantiates into the game scene, your ball is actually going to have the camera down at the bottom. So if I leave it this way, I compile it, and I go and I hit play, you'll see that's probably what you're seeing right there. And when you go to play, your camera does this weird kind of skipping thing, right? Not really what we want, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and stop. I'm going to go back into my BP player. So the fix to this is, since you do not have the same sphere that I do, what we're going to do is we're going to grab that spring arm. So select the spring arm here, and the little blue, and we're going to pull it up until it goes to 50 right here in the middle, okay? 50 will be our center point. I don't have my snapping turned on, so it's not going to go exactly unless I come over here to the X and I can type that in 50 right there, and we should be good to go, okay? Or not X to Z, sorry, all the way to the right, the Z should be set at 50. All right, so now if I compile and I go back and I hit play, my camera should be exactly where it's supposed to be. All right, so that's the fix for the camera. Sorry I didn't know that in the last one, but thankfully my students were able to bring that to my attention and we can get this fixed so that for those of you that don't have the benefit of being in class with me, you can now know what the problem is, know what to look for, and know how to fix it. All right, so we got that. Now the other thing is here in the player blueprints, if I go back to the event graph, right here, the dampening. I was supposed to bring out, I talked about it, we made it, but we're supposed to bring out the dampening. I did put that in the notes in the last video, but we're going to pull it out, we're going to get the dampening, and we're going to plug it in right here. And so now if I compile and save and go back into my player and hit play, now if I hit the stop button, I stop a lot sooner. It doesn't take as long, which is kind of the intent of this, to be able to stop more quickly and be able to change direction more quickly. So, all right, that's it for this video. Hopefully this cleared up a few things, solved some of the problems that you're having, and we can move on to the next things in making some more assets for our game. Again, like the video if you liked it. Sorry I had to make it, but now we're all caught up. I'll see you next time.